Hello girls and boys, how's it going? Now if you've just heard the latest news in tech, OpenAI is reportedly buying Windsurf for $3 billion. Now whether you are a developer, an architect or a DevOps engineer, I have to say something to you which might make you uncomfortable. This news isn't about just OpenAI buying another AI company. This news could fundamentally change the entire software development lifecycle. And it is about a future where AI is not just a coding assistant, AI becomes the coder. So if you are at a point where coding is your superpower, where creating YAML scripts and debugging pipelines is the thing that has the highest value for you, listen to this video very carefully, girls and boys, because it could fundamentally change how you approach learning and potentially your entire career itself. In this video, we will break down of what really happened, how does it matter to you as a DevOps engineer, as a developer, as an architect, and then finally we will talk about how you should prepare for the impending future. If you're new here, my name is Savinder Puri and I have been in the build, release, DevOps, software engineering area for over 2 decades. In this time, I've had the opportunity to work obviously in India, UK, Europe, US, South Africa. I've kind of been around the room. You can check out my LinkedIn profile to know more about my details. Now, before I start with the video, one humble request. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so. About 70% of you watch the channel, take the content, comment on the content, but do not subscribe. One click from you helps us in putting out such quality content week after week after week. Let's get started. So let's get into it. What happened here? OpenAI has reportedly agreed to buy Windsurf. Now, what is Windsurf? If you don't know, it is an autonomous AI coding agent place, a company. What does that mean? Which means Windsurf isn't like ChatGPT, which can give you code snippets. It can actually write the code for you. It can actually test the code for you. It can debug the code for you. It can deploy the code for you without any human intervention or with minimal human intervention. It's like having an AI-powered assistant sitting right next to you and not just prompting you, but actually doing the work for you. And why the $3 billion price tag? Because it is not about adding some new capabilities into AI, into OpenAI. It is about owning the entire software delivery life cycle itself. That's why the hefty price of $3 billion. Now, why does this acquisition matter to you? Let's break it down. Now, this acquisition is bigger in impact than even the co-pilots of the world. Because let me explain to you what I mean by that. Now, the co-pilots of the work it's a fundamental basic difference between autocomplete and an AI engineer. You take any co-pilot today, you describe to it what you want and it will write the code. You start writing the code, it will autocomplete, it will give you suggestions as well. And co-pilots are getting better and better every single day. However, this AI agents or AI engineers will fundamentally change the way you work, whether you are a developer, whether you are an architect, whether you are a DevOps engineer. And this impact is not 2, 3, 10 years down the line. It's here and now. So let's get deeper into it on how this will actually impact you. Now let's take different personas. So if you are a junior developer or if you're in college and trying to get your first job, you're probably thinking if I solve 500 LeetCode problems, I am sorted. Or you're thinking if I do DSA and if I solve 200 DSA questions, I am pretty sorted in that. This approach, you are already far behind. Why do I say that? Because in a world where AI agents are writing the code for you, your biggest skill will not be writing software. It will be reviewing software, it will be refactoring software, it will be prompting it better, and it will be vibe coding at an enterprise level and making better prompts, being very, very good and asking it exactly what you want and getting the output, refining further. It's more on communication now than it is on coding. Of course, coding isn't going anywhere. That's not what I'm saying. But to write code yourself and to review machine generated code is a completely different skill set. And that is the kind of skill that I'm talking about. Reviewing machine generated code and prompting it to produce better code. If you are a senior developer or an architect, what changes in your life? Now imagine having a set of autonomous AI agents working for you and you architecting the complex enterprise solution. So you design architects that AI can work within. What does that mean? You, instead of writing complex algorithms, now you define what you want. So the communication, the clarity of thought in defining what you want is more important now. Also, what is important is setting guardrails on what you want the AI to do, and more importantly, what you don't want AI to do, which you will handle it differently. Also, ensuring that AI stands true to not breaking any compliance or security thresholds that exist within your organization. Also, it is being able to translate ambiguous product goals into specific prompts that the AI can understand so that it doesn't produce a ton of garbage and then you have to prompt it back into what you need. So the prompting has to be so perfect that it maintains the guardrails, maintains the security, and yet gives you exactly the code that you're looking for. Now, if you are a DevOps engineer or an SRE engineer, understand this. The more the code generated with AI, the more non-standardized the code, the more rapidly the code base changes, because a human can only write 200, 500 lines of code in a day. A novice AI developer or an AI generated system can generate thousands of lines of code in an hour. More code means more potential vulnerabilities, more security issues, more AI driven black boxes which need to be built by you, deployed by you as a DevOps engineer, and monitored by you, ensured uptime by you as an SRE engineer. Now, as SRE, you don't stop as what broke. You need tools to be able to tell you on why AI did this. You would expect the future to be AI-aware CI/CD pipelines, policy as code everywhere, automated code generation along with automated test case generation, maybe AI-driven incident responses as well. So your role will shift from guarding human errors to guarding against AI mistakes that human didn't even think for. Where all in the SDLC will this impact you? One word answer: everywhere. Let's drill down. It comes into your IDE. You're already seeing it with the copilots of the world. It comes in your pull request because the code reviews also, first level code reviews will be done by AI. It comes in your pipelines because your CI/CD pipelines will be generated by an AI agent. It comes in your retrospectives and in your postmortems because AI does the first level postmortem and gives you a report which you then discuss. So AI is no longer sitting in the corner like a helper. It is embedded into the entire software delivery life cycle itself. Let me give an example. Let's say you've been around for a while and you've been around for, let's say, in late 2000s, 2006, 2007. When Git came along, you were probably working with Perforce, with SVN, with ClearCase, things like that. Git was just another source control. So many of them came along, you didn't bother about it. How about 2015? Everything was on Git and GitHub and different variations of that. What if you did not learn Git at that point, where would you be today? This is something similar of a moment. If you don't learn AI, and if you don't pivot yourself, and if you don't include it in your arsenal of kitty of multi-skilling, you will be far, far behind. So let's come to the important part now. How should you be prepared for this change that is coming? Let's break it down. Let's say if you're a junior developer, or if you're in college getting into your first job, or if you are 2, 3, 5 years of experience, what should you be doing? You should learn to read code, not just write code, and really understand code, not in the sense of, hey, I wrote this, it does this, this function is for this library is for this, but understanding the nuances of the library, understanding how this code actually executes, how much horsepower it consumes, as deep as you can go into the code as will be better. So learn to read the code, not just write the code. Learn how to do solid quality code reviews. And the best way to do that is get or learn about code reviews in the open source ecosystem. Look at how others are doing code reviews, because code reviewing will become a superpower tomorrow. Then third, play with AI tools, play with prompt generation techniques, get better at prompting, play with code generation tools, experiment with all of that. And finally, the most important one, practice debugging, especially for the code that you did not write. Now, debugging itself is a difficult skill, but debugging somebody else's code, even more tougher. But that's a skill that you need, because very sooner rather than later, you will end up debugging AI's code. Now, if you are a senior developer or an architect, get very, very, very good at prompt engineering. What do I mean by that? Now, if you might be good at coding is a different art. Prompting to code is a completely different art. It takes clarity of thought, it takes communication, and it takes a certain level of skill to give a good quality prompt. Learn that and try and start incorporating human AI workflows together. So let's say you want to build a simple application. Don't build it from scratch. Try Replit and build it. Try Windsurf and build it. So try these kind of things, then debug the output which they have produced. That is human and machine collaboration together. Start drafting some AI coding policies for your organization, or get involved in those initiatives, because as more and more AI code is generated, your organization will have to pivot to defining standards for handling those things. And then join AI architecture communities within your organization, outside your organization, on the internet. There are a lot of things popping up. Go ahead and join them, learn from them. Now, if you are a DevOps engineer or an SRE, you gotta become aware of AI observability tools. All of the observability tools like the Dynatraces of the world have their own AI elements coming in. Learn them, experiment with them. That is where the future is headed towards. Experiment with automated security scanners. Figure out what is software bill of material, because with AI, you don't know what kind of packages it is including, what kind of libraries it is including. How do you then do an audit of your software package if you don't know what has been included? Learn about that, and then check out how AI self-healing, self-remediation, ML algorithms are being used in your organization, and participate in those kind of activities. Now remember, AI will not remove the need for humans. It will replace humans who refuse to work with AI. So finally, here's the bottom line. OpenAI didn't buy Windsurf to add another tool in their arsenal. They are buying it to build the next generation of software developer, which is AI agents. The question isn't, will AI take away your job? The question is, are you ready to manage, review, and work with AI as your peer? I will leave you with that thought, and you can watch a lot of other content on my channel. If you're new into DevOps and SRE, watch the playlist, and I'll see you in the next one.